this computer. All right, here we are. Welcome. We are about to delve deep into the From Fear to Freedom workshop. So we have some lovely ladies here today. It's such a pleasure to be connecting with these wonderful women who I love seeing your faces glow and shine. And we've just had a little chat before I put on the recording, and we'll do the same at the end. We'll turn it off, turn the recording off, and have a little chat at the end too. So it's great to have you guys in the room, and looking forward to seeing how we get delve and what you guys gain from today's session. So I have to first of all apologize profusely because this is heavy content. I've put a lot into this. It's like, I don't know, it's something like 40 slides or something. So I don't know how we're going to go, but we'll have to push through for time. But like, the good news is you can buy the slides separately if you need to, or you can come back in 12 hours and watch it again, and do it again and get some more value out of it. However, the idea is I want you guys to go away with something, and something you can use immediately. And if you only take one bit from it, hey, it's been well worth it, because one little bit is better than nothing. And so just recognize that, and I'm always available to chat if you miss anything or need any clarifications anyway. So that's a precursor apology. As far as being here, it's an absolute pleasure to come here and deliver for you guys yet again. And this work has come to me, from me to you through my journey. So all these things that I share with you are a process of what I've been going through in my own life, and discovering. And so, hey, what better thing to do than to fill my cup and then give them the cup that's full? So that's what I do here. So let me just start. We've had some technology problems already. I can't share my music, so I was going to have some epic, starting music, which sounds great on my end, but apparently you can't hear it in the recording. So I will just imagine we've had an epic start. We've had music, there's lights, flashy things, everything. The energy's up and we're ready to go, right? Yep, Tessa's like got the dancing going on. Right, here we go. So I'm going to share screen. And we'll hope that this all works. Okay, can I get a thumbs up that it is working? I see, yep, we've got thumbs up all around. Excellent. So here, welcome to the From Fear to Freedom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the chat box open. So if you guys want to share anything with me that I am missing, or any questions, just check in the chat box and I'll try to address it as we can. And Angel, who is my right-hand woman over there, she is going to hopefully be able to address some of the questions as well. And if they don't get answered, she'll nicely gently interrupt me, and get me to answer those as well. So feel free to chat that in the chat box. So just a little bit first about me, for those people who don't know me. I know I've got a familiar audience here, but for those that may be watching later, I have created this program called KADY. It's actually my initials, K and D, but I spent a lot of time working on this, and I dug deep and found that part of the process of healing is this kindling of kindness within ourselves. So kindling kindness and awareness and discovering you. And I'm kind of working with that. I was talking to Angel just the other day, and we were talking about an awakening process, right? So it's about awakening kindness within you, awakening awareness, awakening discovery, adventure, journeying, and awakening you. Because after all, this is a process where if I'm aware and I'm here and I'm present, I can give so much to other people. I can be there for other people. But if I'm coming from a place where it's empty, how much can I give before I'm burnt out? So it's about trying to work out a really healthy balance for ourselves. And I find it works really well with the KADY model. So I'm going to stick with it. It works. So that's the background behind there. Yeah. So I'm a mum. I have 5 children, plus one I've kind of taken on as my nephew as well. So it gets pretty busy. Or as one left, the nephew come in. I'm a teacher. I teach year 11, 12, English, don't hold that against me, at senior school. I'm a coach. I'm a daughter. My mother is unwell at the moment. She actually has dementia, so that's got its challenges as well. and I'm an equine enthusiast, as you can see by the picture there. Love my horse, love my property, and yeah, all round nice girl, I guess. I try to be kind when I can, and I definitely come from a place of love and connection and friendship and all those things. So if you've ever followed me on Facebook, you would know I love going out on my property and taking photos of my sunrises, and my property. It's just a absolute dream to be able to do it. I can't believe that I've lived on this property for like 30 odd years, and I've taken the odd photo every now and then, but since my, well, let's call it an awakening, right? Just the things I see, it's so different. It's like I'm fully present now and I can see things like, how you're driving home and you just see beautiful clouds. Like my life changed. I just see things in the now so much more that have always been there. I never really got a chance to appreciate them. So yeah. Anyway, that's a bit about me. Now, a lot of this work is from this book, right? Rhonda Britton's Fearless Living. A lot of this work, because I've been listening to her twice, a couple of times. And if you know any of this information, if you want to go like, expert level, she actually offers programs, and you can buy the book, listen to the audio, and all that type of stuff. So feel free. I'm not going to say that it's my work completely. Like most of it is hers. But I thought I would love to be able to deliver it in a more workshop environment where people can do it interactively. Yeah. So shameless disclosure here. Just letting you know that, and if you want to get any things from the expert, go directly with her. However, I've found it incredibly impacting for me to do this process, and so I thought I would share that with you guys too. So here we go. What is fear? I would love to hear your comments in the comment below. What is fear to you? Or if you want to come off mute, feel free to come off mute. And yeah, what would you describe if fear as? Just give a moment, see if we can get some comments coming up. Something that holds me back. Yeah, unknown, like the fear of the unknown. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a common one. And something that's like it's an unknown thing that's holding me back. So even not even being able to name the something quite often can be fear, because we don't know. Yeah, I like that. Any other ideas about what you think fear might be? Not being in control. Oh, I like that one too. Yeah, so that, like, I don't know where it's going, the uncertainty, the not being able to manage these things, and it creates this heightened sense of urgency within us. Yeah, like those. Excellent. An emotion that holds me back from being the true, authentic person that I know myself to be. Oh, I love that too. It's like that emotional protective barrier that creates this. If we're afraid, then we don't have to be vulnerable and sit within our true space. Beautifully said. Thank you. Awesome interpretations. And being scared. Yeah, the real simple version of it, right? Fear is being scared. That's like, yeah, obvious. Yeah, that, and quite often we don't even know why. Like we might have a fear of, say, spiders, for instance, and we're like, well, I know, I'm just scared of them. But even if we know all the practical information about them, that they're not dangerous, even if it's a completely friendly one, we know can't even hurt a fly, we're still afraid of them. It makes no logical sense. It's like it doesn't actually, yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense. So I have created a bit of a definition here. So I've got 3 pages of this. So fear is a complex and powerful emotion. So, there's another meaning in our chat box: a fright or scare that you never found your way through, that became a lifelong excuse to never move on or achieve more or dream. Wow, that's deep and profound. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. So it's something that's happened in your childhood that you've carried with you as a belief. And I like that one too. Thank you for the shares. Amazing shares there. So fear is an emotion. I think that's probably the most important thing to take from this. So it's a complex and powerful emotion that has the ability to paralyze and limit us. However, it also holds valuable lessons and growth opportunities. Who here really loves that and resonates just with that? It's like, we've got enough information from this session now, I'm going, bye. Because imagine if you just took that interpretation and went, right, it's an emotion. And if you've done any work with me, What does emotions tell you? Emotions are information. That's purely all it is. It's just information. Okay, I'm having an emotion. What is it telling me? That's it. Emotions are information. So fear is an information. Imagine if we could just recognize that, just that. Profound. Session over. No, I've got more for you. Trust me. By embracing vulnerability and stepping into the unknown, we open ourselves to endless possibilities. So fear, again, as was, I think it was Jan mentioned about covering our authenticity and blocking our vulnerability. Imagine if we could open fear and learn what comes from within. Whoa. Imagine the possibilities then. We no longer have to hide or run or fight or do all those things we do in that fight, flight, freeze response. We actually get to be fully present and turn up as we want. Amazing. And understanding the origins of our fears allows us to release their grip on us and take courageous action. Who's ready to make courageous actions? Who's here to make a difference about their fear right now? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hands up. I can see a few hands up. Exactly. This is where you got to do, right? You're not going to get there by avoiding it. The only way you're going to get through fear is through it, right? I heard somebody mention this the other day. I'll mention it again. That old bear hunt book story about the story. Can't go over it, can't go under it, have to go through it. Can't go around it, have to go through it, right? It's the same thing with fear. Fear is all about being able to get through your obstacles and your challenges and recognizing your stretches. Yeah, yeah. Second slide. This one, did you mean, Jan? Yep. Could you take a screenshot, or maybe I can send you a screenshot at the end if you just ask me for which slide to take one off. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So here's some words because yeah, this is chock full of information. Here's some words of varying degrees of fear. So other words that you might use for fear are fright, dread, horror, concern, alarm, anxiety, doubt, apprehension, panic, worry, suspicion, and scared. And we had some of those come up in our meanings on fear. If you get a chance to come back to this, we don't really have time today, but if you get a chance to come back to this, a really good activity is to order those in order of intensity for you. Because, for instance, anxiety will fit different places on the scale of fear to some other people. They might say, oh, well, I get anxious as a low thing, or they might go, anxiety rules my life. So it might be really high on their fear scale. So if you get a chance, maybe take a photo or something like that and take a picture of that, and you can go through and just order and go, okay, you know what? The least of my fears is, I know doubt is on the bottom. But the most intense one is panic. I know I've had panic attacks and they're not nice. So, which one is alarm? Alarm might be, or fright. Fright is temporary and it's going to pass. Right. So it's really kind of individual how they sit. So have a go at doing that. But there's definitely different varying degrees of fear. So one of the things that are core, again, to my program in KADY, is that we recognize the difference between our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors. And this is delivered through basically every coach who does personal development in different ways and different languages. Our thoughts are our constructed beliefs or opinions that are gathered through knowledge or experience. So, as Jen mentioned, from our past, we gather our ideas or our beliefs and we bring them into our current situation. So, at some time, we might have got scared, but we'll use the example of the spiders. We might have got scared by the spiders, and we're bringing that information into their current period. We're not currently necessarily at risk, but back then we thought we were going to die. So we brought that belief with us to now. Question is whether we still want to keep it. That's what we're kind of challenging ourselves with those thoughts and beliefs, because they're past, they're not current, even though they feel current. The feelings are the results, right? So feelings are how we experience our emotions. It's our responses to our thoughts. We tend to experience feelings as emotions. So our feelings are what come up. The emotions are giving the name to the feelings. So emotions are what we name them. Feelings are the sensations and what happens inside our body, how we experience them. Right. So right now, if I asked you to think using thoughts about an amazing place where you feel relaxed and just happy and calm, right? So think of a place that, it might be by the beach, or it might be under a shady tree, or in a meadow paddock, or like laying in bed or in the spa bath or something like that, right? Think of a place like that. So when you're thinking about that place, notice how your body changes and you can feel the feeling. It's like, oh, I feel already a bit calmer or a bit more relaxed by literally just thinking the thoughts. Notice how that happens, right? What happens as a process of this is that we have behaviors. Our behaviors are the actions or responses we do as a result of our thought or feeling. These can be subconscious or conscious. So, for instance, we might get a rapid heart rate. That's a behavior, that's an action that happens as a result of fear. We might start looking around all over the place for possible danger. We might I don't know, chew our nails or do something as a result. We might snap at people. Whatever those things are a result of thoughts that activated feelings that created behaviors. Does that make sense? Everyone's pretty clear with that? Yep. Awesome. Fantastic. So that is kind of the core to so many of the any sessions that you've done with me. Pretty well comes back down to those, recognizing the differences and going back and working on the thought work. That's what we do. All right. Let me introduce you now to the fear wheel. So this is Rhonda Britton's stuff. So it's not a very nice term. This is Rhonda Britton's model that she has created. And I'm going to go into detail with you guys now about what it is and how you can get from your fear wheel onto your freedom wheel. So the fear wheel is broken down into 4 sections. Now, this is where it gets heavy content. So you may have to get your camera out or, like this is where it gets pretty heavy. So step 1 is triggers. Step 2 is fear response. Step 3 is our core negative feeling. And then step 4 is our self-destructive behaviors. And if we start from the trigger and do our full circle, then we have completely activated our fear wheel. And then it goes round and round and round and round and round until such time that we decide to step off or put the brakes on it. And we can exit at any particular time, but the full circle is when we get the response that we are trying to avoid. So step 1 is something happens that triggers your fear of being thought of by yourself or anybody else as having what you believe to be a serious character flaw. You urgently want to avoid that outcome, so your body prepares to handle the emergency to at least some degree. You experience physical symptoms of fear, including a racing heart and sweaty palms. Oh, oops, got a spelling mistake there. Which is your physiological response. Right? So the trigger is the activating moment. You get activated. Step 2. Your fear response makes you do something, usually unconsciously, that is meant to ensure that you avoid the dreaded outcome. Just as you would run away from an object you perceive to be a snake, you try to run away in a figurative sense from the thought that terrifies you. Ironically, your response almost certainly guarantees that the outcome will, in fact, happen. In a cruel trick of nature, we unerringly choose behavior that only serves to confirm our worst fear about ourselves. So our fear response happens because we think it's going to happen. So we actually made it happen. So you get that, right? So we have an activating event that says, I'm going to be afraid of a spider. Before we even know that we're thinking that we're going to be afraid of the spider, we're afraid of him. And then guess what? Our very fear comes true because we get fear. Yeah. Did you want me to go back, Janice, quickly? Here we go. Got that? Yeah. Yeah. So we are going to have a fear as soon as we recognize it. Like if that spider was there the whole session and you didn't see it at all, would you be afraid? No, because you wouldn't have noticed it. Even if your subconscious saw it and you hadn't paid attention to it, you wouldn't get afraid. You only get afraid when you recognize or trigger a past memory or past thing. So fears are linked to those thoughts. The third stage is, as you realize you haven't avoided what you fear, the consequence is that you experience the gut-wrenching negative feeling of not being good enough, or whatever your particular version of that is. You don't matter, you're not worthy, etc. Not all those ones, right? That is what you are truly, oh, another spelling mistake. What you are truly afraid of. The thought, I should have checked over this, shouldn't I? The thought you are trying to avoid is a cover for the feeling that you can't bear to face. That feeling is always underneath your thoughts and responses, both of which keep you distracted, helping you avoid the very thing you most confront, your version of not being good enough. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Jan's just shared that she once was afraid of mice and rats and then all of a sudden just disappeared. Yeah. So your thoughts changed about it, right? Yeah. Because when we get onto the wheel, our core negative feeling is presently there. We may not even be conscious of it, but we already say something like, if we're afraid of the spider, we've had a fear response, then we beat ourselves up about it, right? Instead of being compassionate, kind to ourselves and going, oh, that's understandable that I'm afraid of that spider. That's because when I was a little girl, I got bitten, but I'm not going to get bitten now. It's like, we try to, instead, we avoid going and having that conversation. And instead, we go, well, I am afraid of spiders. Of course, I'm afraid of spiders. And we get stuck into that of trying to prove that we are what we believe or anything like that is right, because we're trying to protect ourselves from that vulnerable place and that vulnerable space again. And we'll get deeper into this. You'll get to discover yours in a moment. And then the last step is you find some way to numb the emotional pain, almost invariably by self-destruction, such as drinking, gambling, eating unhealthy food, or shutting yourself off from the very people who could support you. So rather than, obviously snakes and spiders is a immediate threat, but if we have a fear of getting close to somebody or things like that, because of our pattern of behaviors, we do go into the self-destructive behavior, comfort eat, we binge watch, all those type of things as a result to avoid having to face our core negative belief. And then we get back onto that pattern. We eat the food, we feel crap about ourselves, we think we're going to put on a lot of weight and fat, and so we go into that fear wheel again. It just keeps going round and round and round and round. Remember, the degree to which you indulge in this behavior isn't the issue. The motivation is. What motivated you to do it, and what motivates you to stay on it? Because you stay on that wheel. Once you're in the wheel, it's like a spiral. It goes down and down and down and down until you absolutely feel totally and utterly. And then you wonder, how the heck did you get there? Hop back to 3. There we go. Got that?
Thank you, Kathryn. Yep, got it. Thanks.
Nice. Oh, good. All right. So what is my trigger? This is where you need your pen and paper. All right. Fill in the space. If someone, and here are the words. So the words on the left, there's 10 words here you can choose from. And you need to choose one. So if someone I love, respect, or admire thought I were selfish, or I was selfish, stupid, weak, incompetent, ordinary, a loser, a fake, lazy, invisible, rejected, I would be devastated. All right. So pop in the word there that best suits you. Now, if you're not sure, write down 4 or 5 of them and then narrow the list down. So if someone I love, respect, or admired thought I was a loser, I would be devastated. What if they thought I was fake? Or what if they thought I was lazy? Or what if they thought I was weak? What if they thought I was stupid or incompetent or ordinary? Just maybe choose a couple and find the main one. Once you've got those couple on the page, go back and look at it again and go, actually, this one's the stronger one. So reduce it down to at least three. And then out of those three, which one's the one that just keeps coming back to you right now? And maybe once you've got that, you don't have to share it. This is personal and private. There's no reason to be sharing here. Um, you're more than welcome to keep it to yourself because this is vulnerable. And as you get better, you'll learn that you can share it with certain people, but there are people you just do not share this with because they don't need to hear it or don't need to have it. So has everybody chosen one? That's all I just need to know. I'm sure you can say stupid. Yeah. Say that's if you're being stupid. I think mine's invisible or rejected. I should have done mine again. Yeah, selfish is a good one too. Hmm. I think mine's rejected. I keep going back to rejected. So anyway, so hopefully everyone's got one. Yep. I love that you guys are sharing beautifully what you've got there as your vulnerable one. I probably shouldn't read them out and relate them to you guys. Because if for people who watch the recordings. But yeah, so because we'll get a bit deeper into this. So I want you to write next to that word, my trigger. Okay, so this is my trigger. So as soon as someone says something like, say your word is selfish, right? Then as soon as you get an inkling or a smell or something that goes, you think someone's thinking you're selfish, you're activated, right? It's like, yeah, yeah. Or if your one might be that I'm stupid, it might be as soon as someone questions me about something I did or I made a mistake or something like that, I'm activated, right? So just write down what your trigger is. All good? Okay, excellent. Next step is what is your core negative feeling that you get as a result of this? So if the people I care about really thought I was, and insert your trigger word, yeah, I would feel as though I were what? So if if people I care about really thought I was stupid, I would feel as though I were a failure, unlovable, a disappointment, worthless, helpless, foolish, inadequate, insignificant, an outcast or damaged goods. Which one? Again, narrow it down to one, which will be your core negative feeling. So if I was selfish, if people I care about thought I was selfish, I would feel as though I were inadequate. Just go with the one that gives you the most emotional reaction. That's how they are. Helpless. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying not to use names. I'm not going to use names just to go down. But yeah, there's one share in the chat box that I have just realized why I chose stupid because as a child I was called stupid often. Yeah. Great awareness. Amazing awareness. Yeah. And then the result was that you felt that whatever one of those. Mm. Great awareness. It's really cool stuff. Helpless, a failure. Yep. Failure is a strong one. An outcast. Insignificant, I think, for me is one. Definitely. And helpless. Mm. How are we going? Everyone got one? Yep. Got lots of nods. Okay. So this is, and you may need to take this picture, but here we have, so we have the trigger and we got the core negative feeling. So when When I want to avoid the thought that I am, and put your wheel of fear trigger goes here, I do the following items. Now, this page here is relevant to the next page. So this, I've got a list here, which is a whole lot of responses, but I couldn't fit it all on the page. So these are the sentences that you need to write down. So when I want to avoid the thought that I am, and then you add your trigger, I do the following items. And then the other one we're going to do, so once you've done that one, is when I want to get rid of my core negative feelings that I am, and insert your core negative feelings, I do the following. So you're going to have two responses from the same list. Does that make sense? Hopefully. So you're going to have two sentences. You're going to have a trigger sentence and you're going to have a core sentence, and they're both going to have the same, different, it could be different responses or the same responses. Quite often they're different. All right, so we're ready for the next one? So I'll flick back and forwards. We might get a bit dizzy, but here's your fear-driven responses. All right, so just go back to here again. When I want to avoid the thought that I am stupid, I do the following thing, or do the following items. What do I do? So this is where you now go through and check which one of these things you do. So I people please, I isolate, I blame, compromise, I shop, I get negative attitude, I sleep too much, I procrastinate, apologize for everything, move to get away from problems, take everything personally, get manipulative, surf channels on TV until all hours, give up, do drugs, bulimia, kick the cat or dog, make jokes about yourself, workaholism, shutting down, emotional drama junkie, oops, forgot the K in there, self-pity, drinking too much, whining, exercise addict, being promiscuous, arguing with anyone about anything, oops, guilty, gambling, lying and pretending, cheating, shoplifting, smoking, putting other people down, insomnia, suicidal thoughts or attempts, crying uncontrollably, physically abuse to yourself, negative self-talk, comparing yourself to others, constipation, diarrhea. I get that. When I get really stressed, I get stress tummy. Headaches, migraines, stomach ache, high blood pressure, verbal abuse to yourself or to others. You can be one or the other or both. Making a preemptive strike on others, being irresponsible, overeating, perfectionism, making excuses or complaining, I should say, or endless daydreaming, hating yourself, intentional sleep deprivation, heartburn, escapism, name calling, that again, that can be to others or to yourself, staying on the internet chat room until 3 a.m. in the morning. So hopefully you're able to identify all of those things that you do, one, like in regards to your trigger or your emotional response. Maybe there's a couple of things that you do. I'll just give you a moment. Now, see, if I had my music working, I could play the music for a little bit. And you could be listening to the music instead of me having to fill the space. So have a go at identifying at least one and take a screenshot. I love my little pictures. I love that little guy down the bottom, little fear from Inside Out. Inside Out is one of my favorite movies. Love that movie. So clever and creative about how we think and how our emotions run our life. And our adult life is about letting emotions run our life anymore, being the adult and being in charge of our emotions, not in charge, but in, aware of our emotions, so that we can choose the actions we want rather than being directed by our emotions. Again, use emotions as information. Here we go. So just go back. I'm just going to flick back up here. So you did your trigger sentence and you should have your core negative feeling sentence. So When I want to get rid of my core negative feeling that I am unlovable, I do the following. When I feel like I'm unlovable, when I feel like I'm whatever the other ones are, so what were they, like inadequate, foolish, insignificant, I do these. When I feel insignificant, I yell and complain and argue because then at least I get some attention. How'd you go? Can I have a thumbs up in the comments if we're all good to progress? I know that's a lot to take in. You can see why I offered this as a purchase because there's a lot. There's a lot in there. All right, so we're all good. We got one thumbs up. Can we get any other thumbs up? We all good? Yep. This is interesting. I respond to a lot of them for the first response. Yep. Okay, so recognizing that you're quite, excuse the term, but trigger happy, like creates a lot of emotions, which is probably good because, well, it's neither good nor bad, but the emotional state is then maybe you're more aware once you're into the emotional state, whereas the trigger state might be there's something that the awareness, and this is helping. Recognizing your patterns is always very helpful. Yep. All right, let's move on. So here is our fear wheel statement. When I want to avoid having people think I am, your trigger goes here. I react by, your response goes there. When that doesn't work, I end up feeling the true word in there. Then I do this. How about that? So I want you to actually write that out, not just take a photo. I really would like you to write that out because this is your fear wheel statement. This is building your awareness. So pen, paper, write this out. And this is where I get background music again. I can't even make any music. Like it's crazy. I can play my phone and you guys can't hear it when I play my phone. It's weird. Very strange. I can try again actually. Let's see. Oh. Oops. Okay. Yeah. How'd we go? Everyone done that? Got thumbs up? Okay. So I want you to read that out to yourself loud, like, to yourself, not so that we can all hear it. But I want you to read that out to yourself and recognize that it's concreted in there so that you can build your awareness and recognition. Because that's going to help. with where are you going, what you're doing with this. And once you've done that, I want you to recognize, so if you were able to master your fear, so right now, that fear statement you've made, if you were able to master that fear, I want you to think and consider what would be possible if that fear was mastered and you no longer had the response that you had any longer. How would that affect your career, your intimate relationships, your finances, your health and well-being, your social life and friendship, your family, your spirituality, your intellectual knowledge, your emotional development, your home and living space, and your creativity? Can you see how being on that fear wheel is stopping you from living the potential of all those things, of some or all of those things? So if you were able to get off that fear wheel and move on to your freedom wheel, where you're living without being at whim to your emotional tossing and throwing, how that might change your life. It's the work we do as the coaches, right? We help get you through your fears and move you into your freedoms. We bring your fears down. We make your fears less. That's what fearless means, is we bring less fears. That you are run by your less fears and more freedom. So, too much information here. Why not upgrade to the VIP? There's a bit of a shameless plug here that I've given now that I'm going to just add here. I'll check this link in. No, I cannot check the link in. I'll put the link in later. But why can't I check the link in? Nope. Oops. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, I'll check the link in a moment. But that link there will take you to a purchase, and you can purchase both of the recordings. You purchase the PowerPoint as well, and you get the PDF, the workbook as well. So all of those are included. I've reduced it for today only to $19. I've got it advertised for $49 for any time afterwards, because I believe this is a really great program, and I believe it's sellable as a program separate on itself. And I'm hoping to do that as part of my accounting. Listen to me. I'm doing that as part of my coaching business, that I should be able to technically sell this as a package, and people can buy it for $49 and go off and do their feel wheel. So for today, I'm offering it at $19 for those that are in attendance here today. That's one thing that you can do, because I know there's a lot of information in there. Want to take this to the next level? Is it okay if I share some of the things I've been doing as my coaching? So this is my shameless plug right in the middle before we go into our wheel of freedom. So don't go away anywhere, because I will be taking you into the wheel of freedom. I'm not going to leave you hanging. We are going to do that, but this is a nice place to kind of segue in. So I wanted to share with you what I've been doing as part of my accounting. Oh gosh, now I got that word in my head. As part of my coaching. So I have been taking, and I have a couple of my amazing ladies here who have been doing the ultimate quest with me. So they will get to see themselves in their testimony soon. So the ultimate U quest, if you don't know what it is, I would love to have a chat about that. But it is a program run by Sharon Pearson, or Remy Pearson, who is the writer of the book Ultimate You. And she has created a online portal of huge amount of information, including heaps and heaps of bonuses. And it's a 12-level program that builds you to get to the point of becoming your ultimate you. So there are just on its own, it's just a gem. You can just listen to it and do it on your own. However, I've found that doing it with somebody and in a small accountable group has been very valuable. And I know a few of the ladies here have felt the same way as well, that it builds this really beautiful community, and you get to connect, and it's accountability, because every time I say, right, guys, you need to listen to this level before the next one, And I'm really excited to say that every one of the girls that came through with me this last lot completed the full 12 levels. Now, how many times have you gone and bought a program, bought it, started off a few sessions, and then dropped off? Right? Yeah. Yeah. So I've done it, bought it. I'm going to get to it. I'll get to it, get to it. And you don't, because you just don't have that accountability. So you get the 12 levels of the learning education, you get 12 private group meetings, right? Now that's me for 2 hours every fortnight. Like, and we go deep. We go really deep and personal. It includes bonus material. There's a private Facebook group that we make. Plus, you also get the Facebook group that goes with the actual program. You get messenger chat. You just create a great little intimate group. And I know that, well, three of the people are here actually, Tessa, Jen, and Angel, which are the ones that I have that I've got your testimony in the next page. So I'm offering that. Now, you can go to TCI, the actual Global Success Institute, and purchase this program right now today for $997. You can go and purchase it and do it on your own. You can go do it right now. Or you can buy it through me, and I will not only give you the program, but also give you all those additional group sessions, accountabilities, and all those type of things for just a simple $12.97. Absolute bargain. I'm not going to offer that price all the time. At the moment, that's what I'm offering. And hopefully, I'm hoping the lovely ladies who joined us last time will join us, as well as what's the word when they're like can't think of the word, but anyway, they're experts now.
Alumni.
Alumni, yes, alumni, yes, that's the one. Yeah, they're my alumni ladies. So they're more than welcome to join along and contribute as well as being part of it. They're lifers, I think. We've got lifers, right? So yeah, you can do that with the $500 deposit and then pay the rest off as 9 weekly payments if you want. That doesn't quite work off. I think we can adjust that. I think it's 9. I think it's meant to be 8. But yeah, anyway, we can talk about that. I'm happy to have a private session with you about what's affordable for you. So here are some testimonials, and I really appreciate these lovely ladies writing this. And it's so cool that that you guys are in the room right now. So Angel says, this program is powerful and has been very helpful. I have gained a lot of awareness, empowerment, and hope. Tessa says, the Ultimate You Quest 6-month course facilitated by Kathryn Dorr brought together everything in me I needed to feel whole once again. After trauma, loss, grief, and addiction, low self-esteem, I feel authentically myself, ready to take on the second half of my life. Grateful. And Jen has said, I came into the Ultimate You program in search of hope to improve my life. Kathryn, through the Ultimate You Quest, gave me so much more. I now have true emotional clarity. I truly understand myself and can't wait to learn so much more on this journey. So beautifully said. Thank you, ladies. Loved. And I have with me Tasha, who is also is not able to be here, but wishes she was. Has also done a video testimonial. So it goes for about 4 minutes, which will nicely take us into the hour. And she wanted to share with us too a little bit about her journey with the Ultimate You Quest. And so let's hear it from Tasha. Oh, you know what? You can't hear that, can you? Just realized this is not going to work. Let me just try, see if it might work if I do it this way. Let's cross our fingers and hope this works. Let me know if this is working. No. Oh, drats. This is where the fault comes in. Okay, so Tasha has left me this beautiful 4-minute testimonial, which I can't share with you right now. But what I can do is I'll send it to you guys in the chat box and in our messenger group, and you guys can have a listen to it because it's a beautiful, vulnerable share, and I really love that she's done that. So, yeah. So back to the quest. Here it is. I'm happy if any of the ladies wanted to add anything now. If you want to come off mute, and I can stop this before we head into our freedom. If you wanted to add anything more.
Sure, just a minute.
I'll jump in. I'll stop sharing for a minute.
I'll go ahead real quick. Just for me, it was learning about the tribal cycles and investment and how the family unit and things like that brought us to where we're at now and how much it impacted us as adults. And just seeing how all that plays into it really brings a lot of awareness. And I think that's what I really gained from it. And especially doing it with a small group of people was just incredible. Wouldn't have been able to go through that and get that deep and get the different insights from people, you know, and to bring the different perspectives and stuff together was really powerful.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for that share. I'm gonna remove my spotlight. Yeah. Anyone else? Who else? Tessa, was that you that jumped in?
Yeah, I'll second what Angel said. And what you said in the beginning. You know, if I try to do something on my own, I don't get very far, or it takes forever, or the motivation wanes. And with this group, we met every other week. We were all ready with our homework. We were motivated to cheer each other on, and we got so much out of it from hearing that we weren't alone in our struggles through the other women. A group is well worth doing for 6 months.
Thank you
For sure.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, ladies.
We really were a tribe of authentic women looking for emotional intelligence to really improve our lives, and we'd all had true struggles, and we're open. We shared our inner struggles, and there was no judgment, and it was a safe place, and we didn't just, you know, waffle. We came straight to the crux of what our issues were, and we moved on, and we dealt with them and found solutions and learned. We moved on. It wasn't like a therapy session. We were there to learn strategies, and yeah, it was life-changing, and we still have a way to go. We're still learning, but gee, thank goodness. It was so much information, but so well delivered. And I think because every week there was, we met every 2 weeks, but I think because we went through all the program in that time. But yeah, for me, it was really good timing.
Yeah.
It's been perfect timing for me because I really was looking for something, and I'm blessed because it was in my hometown.
Yeah.
But we need to catch
awesome.
up because I'm leaving Sunday.
Wow, just drop that on me there, Jen. Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's huge.
Accepted a fantastic
life-changing.
Yeah.
Wow, we are going to catch up after offline.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing news. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah, really appreciate that. That is definitely life-changing. Look at that. That's pretty incredible. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for everybody for sharing. I'm going to pin me again. I don't know. I tried to spotlight this before, but I don't even know what I did. It's not fun. I think I have to. No, I don't even know what I did. All right. Okay. Whatever I do, I'll do whatever I'm doing right now. So thank you, ladies. You guys are awesome. You know I love you. And we will continue on with this PowerPoint. And I am sorry I didn't get Tasha's to play, but I will share that. Okay, just need that verification that you guys can see my screen again. Yep, fantastic. Okay, so let's move into Freedom Wheel. Who's ready to move on to Freedom Wheel? Maybe just give yourself a bit of a stretch, a bit of a, oh, you're all good. Get yourself moving. We are free. Let's do the American posture. Lady Liberty, freedom, right? I just thought I'd like that, yes. Freedom. So, curious. Let's get in the chat. What is freedom to you? What is freedom? Curious to know. You can come off mute if you prefer, like if that's easier, but yeah, you'll be recorded. No inhibitions. Yeah. Yeah. Freedom. That's like strip. Freedom is joy. Oh, I love that, Lisa. You will know why that is just ironic and funny in a moment. I'll tell you now, because the little image that I used in the, you know, how I used fear little image, I used joy from the Inside Out for her, for the image for freedom. So must think on the same wave as me. Yeah, I love that. Anyone else? Freedom. What is freedom to you? Open air, open space. Choices. Oh, lovely. You read my mind again too, Angel. I was thinking that the opportunities for choices. Choices abound. All variations and degrees and angles. Like when we move from the black and white world, we see all the colors of the rainbow that come out. I love that. Okay, so I've put here freedom is the state of being able to act, think, and express oneself without constraint or oppression, allowing individuals to make choices and pursue your desires, dreams, and interests. How's that sound? Does that kind of fit? So we can act, think, and express. So you can see those words are kind of mixed around a little bit, right? Think, feel, and act. Our behaviors, it comes up in everything, right? It's thinking, feelings, and acting. I think there's even a model that I learned when I did psychology. It's the ABC, and it's actions, behaviors, and cognitions. Okay. So it's still all the same. All this stuff is repeat, repeat, repeat. Freedom. Now, we introduce her to the freedom wheel. Now, the freedom wheel is not the opposite to the fear wheel. We don't just do everything opposite to what we did on the fear wheel. We don't go, okay, so we have positive feelings. You know, who here has had a kind of a rough relationship with gratitude? I know I have. You know, someone says, oh, if you're feeling negative, just feel happy instead. Or, you know, when one foot hurts, be glad you got a hand, you know. That type of toxic positivity is not helpful. So going from fear to the opposite is actually not going to get us there. It's a process. And so in this case, or in this situation, we go from our essential nature to our proactive behaviors to our full wholeness and our self-affirming behaviors. So it goes full circle around from our central nature. And so at the core of this, which again, Jan opened up with us and said it's about our vulnerability that we're protecting. So our fear is covering our vulnerability. What is our true essential nature that we're protecting? And then by protecting ourselves, well, what can we do that's active in opening up that self and expressing that self and expanding that self so that we can feel more wholesome and real and authentic, so that we can affirm doing more behaviors and that make us feel greater and confident and competent and powerful. Right. So let's move into it. Freedom wheel. So step one is you identify your essential nature, the state of being that fuels your passion, gives you an abiding sense of purpose. This is your true self. Although it is most often masked by fear. This is who you are. This is who you are really, or you really are, sorry, who you were born to be, the pure self that existed before environmental influences began to shape you, making you afraid that this self is not good enough. So, yeah. This is about that core crud crust that we've talked about in other workshops. Being what is at your core? Who are you at your core? And then the next step is you consciously engaging in proactive behavior by doing things that allow you to get in touch with your essential nature. So what are the proactive things that connect you to that self rather than deny you? How do you get from that state to this state? And then step 3 is as you take the actions that help you get in touch with your essential nature, you dispel your fear of not being good enough and experience a sense of wholeness. This is your essential nature brought to its highest and most expansive level. Your wholeness gives you a sense of fullness and power. Oops. I have no idea what that word is. Oh no, that says life for you is now full of limitless possibilities and you are eager to embrace them. Once upon a time, I used to get upset when I had a mistake on my PowerPoint. Now I'm just like, I laugh at it. I'm like, there you go. It's like, it's not even, it bothers me half as much. I mean, I'd like to correct it, but it's not actually a big thing because I know everybody understands it still. It's not my problem. It's whoever's upset about it's problem. So they've got the challenge. Let's call it a problem. Let's call it a challenge. So yeah, that was an interesting little side pass there. But life for you is now full of limitless possibilities and you are eager to embrace them. So now I don't get stuck in that fear wheel. I get around those issues. I now get into a place where I go, you know what? It happens. It happens. And we can live more fuller and I have more kindness in my heart and compassion. And then step 4, your sense of wholeness frees you from the fear of not being good enough, and you instinctively engage in self-affirming behaviors. You're able to make a contribution to yourself and to the world without judging yourself or fearing the judgment of others. In so doing, you go back to the beginning where your EN, essential nature, inspires a new round resulting if you feeling, inspires a new round, resulting if you feeling even more true to yourself and fearless. In you feeling, I think that's meant to say in you feeling more, even more true and yourself and fearless. So we reaffirm our essential nature, which reaffirms our proactive behavior, which reaffirms our wholeness, which reaffirms our more self-affirming behaviors, which recreates our essential nature. And we start living in this spiral of our being. And we be in our pure state. How awesome does that sound? Sounds like a great state to be in, doesn't it? When you feel like you're on your freedom of will, you glow from within and it comes out. It's a warm glow. I know when I first started this journey and I first met my first coach and I was so envious of her. She was so energetic and so alive all the time. And I thought, what is it that she has that I don't? And she said, it's the fire within. And I'm like, I can't even feel an ember. I'm so numb and void. I can't even find an ember inside me. It's just all cold. And I never could understand how people felt passion and vibrance and enthusiasm. I was like, well, yeah, I can fake it, but I really struggle to feel it from within. And now it's like, I don't even know, like I can remember kind of what that was like, but now I feel this light and fire within me. It like burns in me and I feel it in my cheeks and my face. And I'm sure you can see it in me when I'm presenting because it's an energy, a beautiful energy. And I know it comes from within and it comes from my kindness and my compassion. And it shows as love. And when we connect with it, that's what we show off because we're giving it to ourselves and others. So it's about finding ways to connect to your energy and recreating it, reproducing it. So who'd like to know how to tap into their freedom wheel? Who'd like to know? Or are we finished now? Would you like to head off? Or then no. You want to know? Yes, yes. Gosh, you sound so enthusiastic. I'm looking at faces right now. What's happening?
We're just
Have I like chunked you out too much?
we're just trying to catch up, Kathryn. Could you just pop back to number
3,
2? I think I missed 2.
number 2. Okay, there's 2.
Allowing thing, allow you to. Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Oh, did you get that, Jem? Got it? That one? Did that one? Did you need one as well, did you? Okay. Got it? All right. So here we go. This is how we're going to get into our wheel of freedom. So I want you to first of all write down 5 people who are either dead or alive, real or fictional, whom you most admire, respect, or secretly envy. Right? 5 people. 5 people that you're like, oh man, I love them so much. I wish I was them, or they are just my inspiration, my goal. I want you to think of 5 people who are really significant to you. They don't have to be alive. They don't even have to be somebody you know. It might be a president or a prime minister or or a peacemaker, or could be a fictional character. Be anyone. 5 people that you're just like, they are the epitome of what I'd like to be. Or they're my hero. I'll just let you think about that for a minute while I yell at my daughter. Turn off her phone. Right, here we go. Has everyone got 5 written down? You've still got some like contemplative thoughts there. Maybe share some in the chat box if someone's needing some inspiration. You might have your mom, grandma, an auntie, or someone significant person who affected you. Maybe the Dalai Lama. Might be a coach that that's like Remy inspires me. Julia Christina for me inspires me a lot. Mm, yeah. Tessa, did you come off mute to say something?
Oh,
No. Can we put ourselves down on the list? For the sake of this activity, you can. I'm not going to tell you can't, but I'd probably say go for 5 different people, because we will do ourselves. Yeah, actually, put it down. It wouldn't hurt. I'm not going to tell you either way. You decide. I think that's beautiful to say yourself is your hero. We all should have ourselves as our hero anyway, technically, right? We've got Oprah. Yeah, she's definitely a motivation. Dad, a new friend, and my sisters. Yeah, beautiful. A new friend. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so those things, like 5 people. And I think, so my principal actually inspires me a lot. The person I work for, my boss, she just, yeah, like she's ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. And she helped me see that you can be human. Like I love Angel's when she turns her screen off and she's got that human thing, which is a lesson I learned from Julia, is that she's turned it off. Everyone can be human. We're all human. Even our extraordinary people are human. Our heroes, unless they're fictional. But technically speaking. What was it? Like one of the debates was, and now I'm getting sidetracked, but one of the questions that come up in one of my classes was, what's the difference between superhuman, Superman, and ones like Batman and things like that have got superpowers. Well, Batman's human and still fights and does all these crimes and everything like that. Whereas Spider-Man, although they have magical powers to help them. So they were like having those discussions. Yeah. Got some more here. Princess Di, my late husband, my daughter. That's beautiful. My daughter, myself, John Lennon. Yep. Great inspirers. Great heroes. Yeah. Princess Di was on two lists there. There you go. Beautiful. Okay. So you're ready to move on to the next stage. Everyone's got 5, I hope. All right. So now I want you to choose from this list. So choose one that you think is most you. So when you think into yourself, yeah, I love that. Somebody's chosen myself because I've overcome a lot in life and I'm proud of myself for that and how far I've come. That is beautiful. I love that so much. Honoring you. So choose one thing that you think is most you out of that list. Authentic, creative, compassionate, accountable, loving, beautiful, courageous, focused, generous, trusting. Which one do you reckon you are? I know you want to say you're all of them, but you'll just have to choose one. Which one do you think you're strongest at your core? You got it? If you're stuck again, choose the 3 that are most powerful to you, and then go down to look at those 3 and think which one of those 3 is the strongest. Oh, yeah. So you might reduce the list to 5 and then to 3 and then to 1. How'd you go? Does everyone get 1? I'm hesitant on that. Let me help you. Okay. So what I want you to do now is to go back to your hero list and next to each one, add their essential nature from this list. So next to them, which one would you give them as their essential nature? Jen's giving like nod, like, oh. I love that.
Oh my God, Audrey Hepburn is like all of them.
Which one? Yeah, it's hard. You might be like, oh,
Audrey
wow.
Hepburn is like every single one of them. She was like a UN ambassador. She's gorgeous. She's authentic. She's creative. She's beautiful. She's courageous. She's made you.
If you had to describe her in one word, which one would you choose? Which one is why you love her?
I just love. Oh, she's beautiful, courageous.
And stick with your first instinct, which was compassionate. So go back to your list. I know it's hard because you love these people so much, they're everything. But choose one word and try not to overthink it, but just go with your instinct. What is it that you love about them? I mean, they might have all those things, but what is it that you see in those people as being the strongest thing of why they connect with you? This is where I've got some background music on, a little jig and a dance.
Mine are all different.
All different. Mm-hmm. They can be all different. Yep. You can have all different ones. And quite often that will be the case, is that you'll have different inspirers for different emotions. Once you've done that, so the next stage is, did I put this in? Yeah. So if you don't have at least a few of your heroes with the same essential nature, then you're probably on your fear wheel, because this is the point, right? Oh, yes. This is it. So recognize now how all those things that you saw in your heroes are actually your true essential nature. Mm, that one's not, I saw a few faces go, oh, right. So what you see is a projection or a reflection of you in others. So the people you look to and the things you admire in them is actually what you desire in you, which means it exists. So have a look and again now at your hero list and go, okay, I can see that now. Now when I look at me, of those things of my 5 heroes, the most authentic and beautiful part of me is which one? I'll take you back to those. Which one is you? I could so Jen see you being compassionate in your vulnerable state, which is why I thought that was interesting that you mentioned that about. Mm. It can be very vulnerable to even acknowledge which one is the strongest for us out of those. Because if we answered a different one than our 5 heroes, the chances are we think that's what we should be doing, or that's what we think we should have. But if we put aside the shoulds and we actually just go with what we want and who we are, then that would come forward really quickly. How'd you go? Did you guys get straight into it? Yeah, courageous for me. And my late husband. That's beautiful. Mm. Courage. So recognizing that's your driver, that's your essential nature. Right. So if you could gift, so this is your wholeness now. If you could gift one, give one gift to the world as your contribution, which quality of wholeness would you choose? So if you could gift one thing, if you could give a gift of one thing, what would it be? Would you give integrity, personal power, self-acceptance, peace of mind, passion, intimacy, inspiration, confidence, inner joy, and faith? What would you give if you could give the world this one thing? Personal power. That fits very well with the courage, doesn't it? always goes with hand in glove. Courage and personal power. Mm. Yeah, self-acceptance. I was thinking similar. Like, I think mine's compassion. It's definitely recognize passion in compassion. Self-acceptance fits very well into that. And inspiration, I think, for me. If I can inspire other people, I love that for me. And confidence too. But I guess inspiration and confidence is similar to me. I'd be like, but inspire is stronger than confidence. I can inspire somebody without being confident. I like that. Maybe it's inner joy or faith, personal power, integrity. Give the world integrity. Lots of people tell you that you inspire them. Yeah, it's great. And the thing is that these are all great things to have. Um, and then what's at our true nature to give? Definitely passion, intimacy. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I started this journey, one of the things that people would say, like if they said, oh, you had to come up with a word to explain, they'd say to me, oh, Kathryn, you're so kind. And I'd be like, kind. I don't want to be kind. What's kind? Kind's weak. Kind's nothing. Kind's, oh yeah, you're so kind. Like how, like that sounded so pathetic to me. It wasn't until I built that relationship with self-love and self-care that I recognized that kindness is actually a really strong, important word. And when I stepped into that on my freedom wheel, which I didn't know it was called freedom wheel back then, but it stepped into my greatness, which was kindness. I recognized, you know what? I can do so much with this as my power. I can do so much with my kindness. I can inspire. I can create inner joy in me and others. I can do all of those things through kindness. Kindness and compassion, which compassion was my word, right? Yeah. How'd we go? Found one? You guys are all looking really tired out. I think I have completely worn you out mentally. It's heavy. It's probably a whole week's worth of information shoved into one session. Oh, it'll be interesting to see how we go tonight. So, freedom wheel. When I claim, write down your essential nature, I will feel, write down your wholeness. This is a pen on paper job, this one. When I claim my essential nature, I will feel, write down your wholeness. So when I claim, yeah. Well, right, yeah. So if you can't choose just one, write those three things. That's fine. So when I claim whatever your essential nature was, I will feel confident, inner joy, and passion. That's fine. Go for it. You'll probably find if it'll be one that's stronger than the other, but the three will all mean the same thing anyway. So confidence comes from inner joy and passion, and passion comes out as confidence. So they're kind of all interrelated. I need to turn my heat on. Can you believe that? We're sitting here in Australia in our warm clothes, and over in America, they're like singlet tops. At least you guys aren't rubbing it in too much at the moment. We've at least got no singlet tops. Okay, we're nearly there. We're getting there. We are on the road to our self-affirming, loving champion, liberty person. All good? Have we written that down? Still going? So you still see a few pens? Yeah. I'm getting patient with that music. I think if I just played the music, we'd be able to just sit there and enjoy it more. How'd we go? Done? All good? Excellent. So one more step. We have to have a proactive and self-affirming behavior. So to get on your wheel of freedom, you need to take conscious action. It's not just about thinking it or feeling it. It's about doing something about it. It's the actions. Now it's time to choose what you will do to keep your mind on the wheel of freedom. Now, I am going to have to go to this page and go down to my notes to get the link. Where is it? Here. So this page here, oops, I'm going to put in the chat box for those that are here. And for those that are watching on the live, I don't know if that's going to work. No, it's not working as a link. Why is it not working as a link? That's a bit weird. I don't know why it did that. Come out not properly, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so there's a link to just a website that I found, or you can Google it, and it has 100 affirmations. In her book, she has 100 affirmations written. That's Rhonda Britt has 100 proactive and self-affirming behaviors. So, and it's like a couple of pages. I was thinking I could probably copy and paste it in, but I ran out of time. Plus, I thought I can't steal everything from her book. So read them out to you though. So you can have a listen and maybe jot down one or two as we go. So you ready? Strap yourself in. All good? All right. So these are some affirmations. Pick ones that work for you. Say I don't know when you don't. Give a compliment. Ask for help. Take a cooking class. Learn a new sport. Be honest. Stand out in a crowd. Confess your blunders to a friend. Say no when you mean no. Accept a compliment. Take a break. Give a gift for no reason at all. Stargaze. Smile at a stranger. Cultivate good friends. Make a daily checklist. Keep a journal. Ask for something you want. Share your interests with others. Risk embarrassment. Hire a coach. Attend a craft fair. Be considerate in traffic. Forgive yourself for another. Speak the truth. Brainstorm. Listen. Initiate a conversation. Complete the task in front of you. Let someone else go first. Paint a wall. Wear something daring. Pamper yourself. Meditate. Put emotional boundaries in place. Create something. Take the class you have been putting off. Breathe. Eat right. Get enough sleep. Speak so others can hear you. Call someone who loves you. Pet the cat. Give yourself a treat. Do something kind for someone else. Appreciate the weather, rain or shine. Listen to music. Take a mental vacation. Clean the bathroom. Go to the grocery store with a list. Watch a comedy. Throw a dinner party. Say you're sorry. Stand for your convictions. Exercise. Get professional help. Plant some flowers. Sing out loud. Dance. Sign a new business card. Walk the dog. Cry. Listen to the birds. Send a love note. Hug a lot. Take a nature walk. Hit a pillow. Spend time alone. Ask questions. Lie on the grass. Focus on a hobby. Knit. Do research on the web. Join a dating service. Express gratitude daily. Adjust your standards. Negotiate your agreements. Visit a museum. Practice the art of conversation. Read a book. Be interested. Smell a flower. Pray. Flirt. Attend a recital. Write 5 affirmations. Change your mind. Be willing to be wrong. Give or get a massage. Eliminate silent contracts. Take a bath. Obtain knowledge. Run through the sprinklers. Focus on one thing at a time. See another's point of view. Check in with a friend. Get out of your own way. Break your own rules. Say hello to everyone you encounter and follow your intuition. So it's 100 affirmations that you can use or choose from. How'd you go? Did you get something? Or a few? Hopefully you were able to get a couple of them. All right. So here we go. Last step. In order to claim my essential nature, I engage in the following proactive behaviors. When I claim my essential nature, I feel my wholeness, which is, this allows me to engage in the following life affirming behaviors of blah. There we go. Write down your Wheel of Freedom statement. This is where I need background music. While you guys do that, I will Google. Yeah. Imagine nice, gentle music in the background. How'd you go? Getting there? Give you a few more minutes.
I'm not sure I remember what the proactive behaviors were, Kathryn.
Yep, we'll go back up there. What was the? Oh, so their essential nature. The proactive behaviors are the ones that I read out the whole list of. So, oops. Where am I going? So they're the 100 affirmations that we use.
Oh,
So
just now.
proactive behaviors, yep, and the reaffirming behaviors are the same things.
Okay, gotcha.
So it may be the same things, but you may do different things depending on the context.
Yeah, okay.
Can we go back to the latest slide? The one that's
Sorry. Yep.
okay. Following.
I had to pop out while you were reading out that list. Have I missed anything?
No, it's just this page.
This
It was just
page,
the list.
okay.
Yeah, if you need to, so to find those proactive and self-affirming behaviors, you can have a look at this link here. This
Yeah,
page.
I've got that.
Yeah, it's not the same list.
Oh, okay.
I've read them all out. So yeah, they're a page. I might take a photocopy and set it in the messenger group. Actually, I could
Yeah.
probably do that now. Actually, that might have been more helpful to do because you guys could have been looking at it right now. How about I do that? The people that haven't watched though won't have a clue what we're talking about. There we go. Now I've sent them through. Okay, how we go? Written that down? Yeah. So I want you to again read it out to yourself as in its complete form. I want you to get the statement and I want you to read it out as you've written it. In order to claim my essential nature, blah, I engage in following proactive behaviors, blah. When I claim my essential nature, I feel my wholeness of blah. This all allows me to engage in the following life affirming behaviors, blah. So just want you to kind of feel into that and see how that feels for you, like whether that's resonating with you. And Rhonda actually suggests that you write down both of them onto a little piece of paper and get them laminated and keep it in your wallet. And so when you are triggered or upset or anything like that, you can go back and recognize whether you're on your freedom wheel or whether you're on your fear wheel. Because quite often you'll be on either one. And having this affirming statement or your freedom wheel of freedom statement can help you get off that fear wheel and get back onto the onto your freedom wheel, where you're living the life you want. You're choosing by design to how to live how you want. You are the driver of your own damn bus, right? All right. So you made it. You got there. You got to the end. I wanted to share a couple more slides with you before I stop the recording. I have Rhonda's website. So if you want to take a picture of that and you want to further pursue her book and the information that she has, wanted to make sure I gave her credit, but credit is due because this is her work, a lot of it. So I wanted to share that. And where to now? Oh, did you catch that, Lisa? Hopefully. Where to now? So recommendation number 1 is keep connected. Join the private Facebook group. I have a group called Create Your New Tomorrow, which was created. We've got heart-centered people in there. They're all the people doing the journey and the work in that group. It's a safe group. It's a private group. It's only by invitation. And keep engaged in the free workshops each holiday. If you feel you need to dig deeper, sign up for a short private one-on-one course to help bust through some of the fears, limitations that are getting in your way. And I'm always open and welcome. You're always welcome. And I'm open to discuss that at any time. Or recommendation 2, I'm ready to go full in. I want to start doing the personal growth journey that I know I need to gain clarity and understanding. I couldn't think of anything better than working with a private small group of lovely people who are all heart-centered soul people. Ultimate Quest is the way to go. So there's my 2 recommendations for today. So thank you, and time for questions. Hey, we made it. I think I did it in time too. How about that? 10 minutes to go. I'm going to stop the recording. So thank you for watching, for those watching the recording, and always reach out. I'm here anytime.